All right, we're gonna pop these off. Hi guys, it's Jay. I am back, and today I'm delving into the booktube world, which is something that I don't have on my channel. I've never filmed something like this. And as you can see, I have my bookshelf in the back. If you watch my vlogs, you always see it, but I specifically waited to film this till I was home, like back in my my childhood home, and not at the apartment, because I wanted that in the background. But then I forgot that my nicer DSLR camera has a very close lens, so you can't even see its full glory. And it's rainbow right now. I'll show you guys later. It's currently rainbow. It used to be by alpha author, either alpha author or alphabetical by the title of the book. But then I made it rainbow, kind of fun. We'll see if I want to reorganize that. But like I said, stepping into booktube land, inspired by one of my college best friends, Sarah's Perusals. She does booktube book videos, some vlogs online, and also Jen M and Ava Jules. Jen M is more of like, she does more like adult reading and content, and like does book reports after. Maybe I'll get on that level someday. For right now, not. And then a younger YouTuber called Ava Jules. I love watching her videos, even though she's younger than me. I kind of don't love watching a lot of younger YouTubers, but I really like her content. Very positive, very fun, and she's been into reading, so I've been taking some recommendations from like her followers and what I see in the comments just to get back into it. I'm going to show you guys some of the books that I've been reading, and also a couple of the books that I have purchased previously just for fun. I love a haul, I love a book haul, I love a clothing haul, a makeup haul, a food haul. So I just want to haul all these books, and I'm really excited about all of them. So we'll start with that. I was gonna make something super structured and like review everything, but I think I'll review more of the books that I've read recently, but still show you guys some of the books that I purchased back in September when I went to Seattle, because I did a lot of reading and got back into reading then. Let me just get started with the haul. So this is the first series of books that I purchased when I was in Seattle. So the first two are Milk and Honey by Rupi. I don't know how to say her last name. Kaur? Y'all know. Milk and Honey, a cult classic fave, and The Sun and Her Flowers. I also like, well, now that I'm older, I love to collect books as well, so I like getting hardcovers. I always have it as younger. Do have some soft covers up there, but I always prefer to get hardcovers. If I can, I will pay the extra buck because I love the collecting books. And I got the hardcover set of this. I really, really love how they did it, except that there is dust all over mine because it picks up lint like crazy. I will say the poetry isn't super deep or anything like that. I think it's an easy read. I went through both of these in like an hour or less, and yeah, some of it is a little bit more adult content, definitely. Just some more graphic things in here. I would not recommend this if you were elementary school or middle school or anything, but there are some more graphic content, more adult content in here. I wouldn't give it like a 5 out of 5. I would say a little bit overhyped. I will be purchasing her new book Homebody once it comes out on hardcover, hopefully, and add to my collection. I did enjoy a couple of her poems and I tabbed them in here, but I would say it's like a good coffee table book. Easy read if you just want to get a little bit into poetry. Kind of just goes through her life. I wouldn't say anything bad about it. I thought it was pretty average. Again, kind of overhyped. Maybe like a 3 or 3.5 stars. I'm so bad at reading. I think they're really nice to look at in terms of content. Just alright. So these were the first two books that I got. I got The Subtle Art of Not Giving Up and I don't really know how I feel about these newer, like millennial age casual books. I mean, it had some good sentiments in it. A lot of it was like no duh, but hearing it from this guy who's just so casual, throwing F-bombs everywhere, it felt like a friend who was like a tough love friend who was yelling at me. Not actually yelling at me, but sometimes as a friend, I'm very tough love and aggressive, and I'm like, this is how it is, so take it or leave it. It's enjoyable. It's, again, not one of my favorites, more of like a hyped book. I purchased a lot of hyped books. There is some I would say there are some good things in here. It's a very short read, so you could read it like before bed and just a couple pages all the time. Very digestible, more of just like, I don't know if it's it's more of a self-help book. Would you categorize these under self-help? I'm not really sure. I don't love a bunch of the books like this, even one that I read last year. It was a management book. Let me see. This one, I read Emotional Intelligence. It was recommended, a really highly recommended book, especially for like project management and business. And I read this and it was kind of similar, where it was like no duh. And a lot of people gave it good ratings. It was a no duh book, but it didn't give me any extra value. Whereas this one, I felt it gave me a little more value. I feel like these no duh self-help books, I'm not a huge fan of, because I don't know. I don't really learn any more than I already know, and like there's no new way that it's been conveyed. So I would say take a pass on this. I know this wasn't originally part of my haul, but Emotional Intelligence, I don't love. Subtle art of not giving up. If you're just slowly getting into books and just want something a little bit entertaining, a little bit motivating, push in the butt, go ahead and read it. It's only like 200 pages. You could read this in a day. I am a fast reader if I'm not working. I do have a job, but when I'm not working, I am a very fast reader. The next two books I bought in June. I actually bought this when I bought Becoming as well, which I don't have with me right now. I actually don't know. I'm not sure where I put it. Becoming. I got Becoming, which I don't have with me. Really quickly, Becoming, I actually really liked. I thought that it was well written. It really had a fiction side to it. I'm sure a lot of things were enhanced, and like Michelle Obama plus the ghostwriters helping her, as I'm sure there's ghostwriters when they were writing that book. But I thought it was a really like fantastical, even though it was supposed to be a autobiography of her life, but I thought it kind of had that young adult teen fiction flair to it, which I really enjoyed. So I'd highly recommend that if you're interested in reading it, but everyone and their mothers have already read it. In addition to that, I also bought two books. One I have read and one I haven't. And that is So You Want to Talk About Race and White Fragility. I haven't read White Fragility, but both of these were on the recommended books to buy, and I just didn't know where to start, so I started with just like the top charts of books to buy in regards to topics about race, specifically Black people. And I'm Asian. I'm obviously, still a person of color, but I'm not Black, so I just wanted to get a better perspective, better idea, educate myself more. So I figured these books would be a great segue into that. So You Want to Talk About Race was written by a Black woman, and I apologize that I don't have more information about like any of the books I've gone over. It's been a while since I've read them, but I think I do want to make it more of a frequent occurrence, since I've been reading a ton more, to do these every so often if you are interested. But So You Want to Talk About Race, I think, is a great digestible way to start that discussion and that mindset of how Black people are affected, specifically I guess in America. And she also goes into other races. She has a part that I specifically remember talking about Asian folks as well. I am Asian. So I thought that was really cool that she focused on, other minorities as well. She speaks of that lightly in this book, obviously focusing on her experience growing up as a Black girl who is now a Black woman. And it was great. A lot of the points are stuff that I had thought about, but then she either added a new perspective or a twist or just additional value to things that I already knew. This one I think is a good place to start if you're trying to figure out what books to read to educate yourself, or just to hear about someone else's experience growing up as a person of color, as a minority. She is LGBTQ+, as well as a person of color, a Black woman, a woman, female, so just all the things that are minorities, and I thought she gave great perspective. Okay, and the last one from that old haul was The Hating Game. I actually didn't even open this. I read The Hating Game on my Kindle like 2 years ago, and I decided to just buy it in hardcover. It is just like a trashy teen fic romance book. Recommend. I got through it very quickly, and the premise is basically that there's these two coworkers that hate each other, and things happen, and they might not hate each other by the end. So give this one a read. I definitely give that 2 thumbs up for teen fiction romance. All right, so now what I am actually here for. Oh my gosh, I didn't even try fixing my hair or anything for this. Okay, we'll mix it up for the second part. Okay, so for the next series of books, these are the ones that I purchased and read in January besides one of them. I'm missing some books. Sorry, I like live in between places, so I'm just gonna pop up some pictures. The two that I currently don't have right now are Conversations with Normal People and Conversations with Friends. Yeah, I brought 2 books from Sally Rooney. It's Conversations with People and Conversations with Friends. It's at the apartment, so that's also on my list. Those 2 are actually next on my list, like directly next. I know I keep saying that for some of the books I haven't read, but those 2 are the ones that are coming up next. So I bought those and I haven't read them. The other ones that I bought were One of Us is Lying and One of Us is Next. And I got the box set that has both of them, hardcover, of course. And this one is by Karen M. McManus. You'll see a theme here. This one's a young adult murder mystery book, and I thought they were very, very engaging. I got through them fast. I finished both of these in one day each. Like, started in the morning, finished it at night, or started in the afternoon, finished it the next morning. And they had the same vibes. I'm just gonna put them together because they do have like a similar vibe to them. Or the premise of them is very similar, so I'm just going to talk about these books as a series, or a duo, a set, if you will. And the first one had like a Breakfast Club vibe with like murder mystery of like Pretty Little Liars, I believe. And the second one was more Riverdale. If not, like interchange those. But basically it had that kind of ambiance while I was reading them. And it's great. It has the perspective of all the main characters in here, so every chapter is a different character. That goes for both of these books, and I thought it was super engaging because the chapters aren't too long. She really gets you like going with all the things going on. And in the first book, the Breakfast Club part is that there's these 5 teenagers who end up in detention together, and one of them dies, so they're trying to figure out who the killer is. And of course the other 4 main characters that are with the one person that died are the main suspects, so they're trying to clear their name even though they're not guilty, but they are the prime suspects, and trying to figure out who actually killed them. And then in the second book kind of has a similar thing of, you know, trying to figure out who the murderer is. So these both have very, very similar general storylines to them, but I thought it was really, really entertaining. I thought they were really entertaining if you're into murder books. 4 out of 5. Thumbs up. Next one is We Were Liars. I don't recommend this book. I thought that the writing was pretty choppy. This is like a 2 out of 5. It got pretty good at the end. Like, okay, I don't even know if it got good at the end. The beginning was slow, and I thought it was just because I was trying to get into it, and this was highly recommended in like comment sections and like books. I thought it was just boring. The way that they did the chapters was choppy, so it was kind of hard to get into the groove of what was going on and piecing the mystery together. This is also a murder mystery, but not in the same way that this is. There are plot twists to both of them, but very different kinds. This one was very generic where they found the murder, and this one, they also did find the murder, but it was just big plot twist at the end. So I got really into it in like the last fourth, but the other 2 fourths were just so boring and dry, and I had a hard time with the chapters being choppy, just not very interesting. It's hard for me to like pay attention. I finished this book pretty fast as well. This is like 300 pages, and these are like 300, 400. And I just didn't love it. Yeah. So it's about a group of friends who, they're like rich. They go to this island every summer, and that's like the only time they see each other, but they're together 24/7 for like 3 months. And then there's this accident, and the main girl just has no idea what's going on. She's like, why isn't anyone telling me anything? Like one summer like her parents are like, oh no, you're not gonna go back to that island. Another summer passes, and so you're basically trying to piece together, I know that was a horrible synopsis, but you're trying to piece together this girl's memories with her and figure out what's going on. And there's a big plot twist, but I I don't love the book. I don't recommend it, but if you just wanted to try to read it. The one I'm currently reading is Two Can Keep a Secret by Karen M. McManus. Funny story. I was trying to figure out if there's a third book to that box series, and I just like didn't read thoroughly. I ended up ordering this one because I thought this was the third book, but it's not. This is just like a standalone book. Also a murder book, and written in the same style that her other ones are, so maybe an overkill, maybe not. I kind of, I had a hard time getting into it in the first couple pages, but I also think it was just that schlump of switching over on books and then reading a bunch and then burning out a little bit. But now that I've gotten kind of into it, I don't know if you can see, I've only read like a fourth of the book. Now that I've kind of gotten into it, I'm actually very interested in it. I think the other two books that she wrote that I read were a little more engaging. They were more engaging from the start, but I think this one has potential in it. I will let you guys know if I end up liking it. But right now, I think I will. It seems like it's something that a young teenager would love, and also a young adult. So this is what's in progress right now. Okay, that's it. That's all the books that I've been reading. As you guys can see, I read 5 books, 4.5, whatever, in January. I'm trying to read a lot more. I'm trying to get back into my love of reading, and I'm really excited about it. And I never feel too bad about buying books and putting my money into there, even though I know they're not the most educational books or whatever, or it's not like an investment book or an adult book, but I really find joy in reading these. And it's one of the few things that I don't feel guilty about putting my money into. The first one being experiences and plane tickets and stuff. This one being the second. I love a good book. Yeah, if 2 people watching this. But yeah, actually, that's not all. The other books that are just like, you know, some extra. Let me just chit chat with y'all. Okay, I've been sitting on my feet in a horrible position. Hold up. Lastly, before I end this video, I actually also bought Midnight Sun when I was in Seattle. And Sarah, my friend that I was talking about earlier, she was like, girl, just stop. Do not read it. Just let it go. I'm just like so anal in particular that I have to finish it, but I've only gotten like not even, I might be 100 pages in, and it is, oh man, it is so boring. Maybe if I read this right after Twilight, it would be better, like, because I was so into it as like a elementary school girl, whatever. But it's bad. Like, it is so boring. I don't know. Anyways, that was the update on one of them. And the other one, Little Women. Ooh, someone's gonna kill me. Crystal and Sarah are gonna kill me. Little Women. It's Little Woman. I haven't started it, but I got the really cute cover of it, so that's also on my list. So White Fragility, Little Women, and Twilight are on like my older list of things to read, but I really want to read the other 2 books. I don't know. I don't have enough eyes and brain to be reading so many books at one time. I'm one of those people where I like to read one book at a time. Yeah. Okay, that was my little end clip. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed. I really was so excited to make that video, and I'll probably be doing these periodically. But outside of that, look out for my vlogs, other things, blah 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 blah, and I will see you in my next video. Okay, bye. And as you guys can see, that is my library. It's messy, but you can kind of see